In late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs's crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims.
Laura, we have the indictment. We've heard from federal prosecutors. What else are we learning about how this will all play out when Combs appears in court later this hour?
Yeah, Chris, we're getting more details from a detention memo that was filed by federal prosecutors that really sort of bolsters their case for why they want to keep him behind bars. Remember, he was arrested last night. It was a surprise for him at a hotel. And now they're telling a federal judge they actually want to keep him behind bars pending an eventual trial. And the reasons they outline here, Chris, are as follows. Number one, dangerousness. They're pointing to the AR-style rifles that were found in his home that we saw pictures of earlier today at that press conference. They're also pointing to obstruction of justice. These are statutory reasons. They're saying this is a person who was trying to coordinate with witnesses to try to keep their story under wraps. And finally, they're pointing to his vast wealth, Chris. They're talking about the fact that he has so much money and a plane and obviously limitless resources. And so that makes him a risk of flight. Those are the main reasons that they're trying to keep him behind bars, Chris. But it's
since some of the AR-15s, 2 of the 3 defaced AR-15s were found in his bedroom closet in Miami, broken down into parts along with magazines with ammunition loaded in them. So.
Thanks a lot. Does your office intend to seek remand, or are you reaching a bail package? And if you're willing, how would you contrast this with the R. Kelly case in EDNY in terms of the elements? Thanks.
So we will be seeking detention. We have filed a letter.
My darling Fumi Nation, how are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. When I tell you that this year is going to end with all kinds of bangs, better get ready, baby. Better get ready, because the topics, the hot topics, are hotter than toast out of an oven. But before we get into the titi and tata, are we living and loving, my darling, for the simple makeup? The older I get, really and truly, and I'm living and loving, I can do my makeup in 5 minutes flat. When I tell you it's fantastic for when you're doing all of these episodes, I live for it. I just a sweep of a shadow from JUVIAS Place. You know how much I love my JUVIAS Place. JUVIAS Place lashes, as a matter of fact, now that I think about it. And then we have Gerard Cosmetics. Gerard Cosmetics has come out with this beautiful mauve highlighter, and my dark under eyes are gone. Are literally gone. Discount code Fumi. Do not wait. I got this dress from none other, baby, none other than Fashion Nova, and I am living and I am loving. Just look at the body, and it's got a little slit right here at the knee. I think it's quite cute. So a couple of announcements, darling. I'm going to Manchester. I'm going to be in Manchester on the 5th of October, my darlings. Yes, I will be in Manchester on the 5th of October for a fabulous conference of which you're invited. All you have to do is get your tickets, and it is none other the Empowered to Lead Conference. I will be there in all of my glory. Fantastic time. The details are going to be further down, but I wanted to start making all of the announcements and give you the link below. And I am so honored to be invited to this, and I am so excited to be coming to Manchester. You guys, this is going to be fabulous. Yes, my darlings, Empowered to Lead Conference. the empowerment to lead fabulous women from all backgrounds. We will be there in all of our glory. Yes, darlings, we continue to go to every city, every country, and say hello to Fumi Nation. The link will be below. Tickets will be below. Get yours, because once the tickets are gone, they are gone. If you want to send me your businesses, I know a lot of you said for me that it's amazing what you're doing for small brands. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of the love and support that you have given this 55-year-old woman. And I want all of us to win. And no, you do not have to pay anything. I do it as a sign of gratitude. So you have the addresses. You have the American address. You have the European address. For those of you that are around Europe, within Europe, Nigeria, Africa, that you can send it to the European address. If you're in the Americas, if you're in the islands, send it to the American. I will get it all within time. And I get over 100 messages a day. And I have assistance, but we will get to it. Anything that I can do, I will do. I am a woman. I support all women. I'm black, so you know I support black business. I'm African, so you already know I'm out here in the streets. Akuma Matana. Yep, baby. I'm all for it, and I'm for my sons, I'm for my brothers and my uncles, because I honor and I love my son so very much. He gave me a son, and I say it all the time, so that I could really come from an understanding of a man's point of view. And I have my brother, and I have my husband, and I have my father, and I have my fantastic brother-in-law. I have wonderful men in my life. And that has really opened up my eyes to support you guys. So these are all the reasons why I do it. I get my blessings. Trust me when I tell you, money isn't everything. It really isn't everything. When I tell you I get my blessings, I get my blessings. So that is that. If you need a consultation, a lot of you are consulting me also because you want to talk about your business. Not a problem. I'm here. I am here. The last but least, I want to introduce to you my fabulous new gorgeous Jessica Middleton. Jessica Middleton is my accountant. I wanted to introduce Jessica to you because Jessica is what? Jessica is a beast. If you are an influencer, if you're an artist, if you're not an artist, she will take care of your books for you. I live and love Jessica. It's a family business and she's everything. And I said, Jessica, you know what? I know some of my Fumi Nation sisters need some kind of accounting on those books. Let me holler out your name. And she said, all right, I don't mind. So don't go and flood her, but let her know that, well, actually you have a discount code. So the discount code is Fumi. You go over to Jessica Middleton. I'll put the link down below to be there on default. And you let her know that Fumi sent you, that you need your books to be put in order because you don't need the HMRC running up after you. Let me just double check. Yeah. I got it. The HMRC. She's fabulous. And for those of you that are looking for an accountant and you're in the US, I will also hook you up. Just let me know, all right? I wish I could do this for everybody around the world, but I am a dual citizen. I'm British as well as American, so these are the ones that I know. All right, my darlings? Okie dokie, fresh from Paris. I had a fabulous time. Thank you so very much, ENITAN from Healthy Hair Studio. My hair is growing like a bush all over, and I live and love it. I'll never cut it. I'll shape it, but I'll never cut it. I had a fabulous time in Paris. And so I am back, and I was bombarded by you guys because Diddy was arrested in New York. Before I even start, I'm not surprised. I wasn't surprised. Hold on, let me just close the window. It's the bin guys. They are fantastic, really lovely guys. And they come, you know, in the mornings to pick up the rubbish. So that's them going through. Needless to say, we were talking about Diddy. Diddy was arrested. Why? I'm not surprised. We knew that this was going to come. Eventually, Homeland Security had raided his house earlier on this year. It's almost been a year since Cassie, you know, let the cat out of the bag, and he tried to settle that case. Well, his company's businesses settled the case in under 24 hours. We got the news in 24 hours, but they literally took care of it immediately. His children, I hope, will be taken care of, and I'm sure that is why he liquidated literally everything he had and removed himself from revolt in order to stop the hemorrhaging, because everything that he had in a matter of months, this year for sure, it became worthless. He had to have known this was coming. As a matter of fact, he had relocated to New York last week, so he knew that this was coming, and I'm sure he was spending quality time with his family. What do I think? Like I have mentioned before, I met Diddy 20 odd years ago, 20 and change, because I'm 55 now. We're all 55. That's the irony. We were all born in 69. Jennifer Lopez, Diddy, Mariah Carey, Naomi, I think, is 70. But we were all from that 90s crew. And the 90s was a fantastic time when I was living in New York and I was modeling. I was having a fabulous time. And I went out to LA. I got booked for his music video, and that was how I was out there. And Jennifer was seeing Diddy at the time. But this was pre-social media. So when I came back, and it wasn't in the press, nothing, nobody knew until I guess they finally wanted to go official and say that, you know what, we're dating. But at that time, Jennifer was there dating Diddy, cooking for him and serving him and everything. Darling, you don't even know what happened in the 90s. Needless to say, what do I want to add to this? Why has all of this come out now after all of these years? It occurred to me when I got the news of his recent arrest. It is because those that were in power are no longer there. Things have changed everywhere. And the people that were in power in those days are no longer in power. For what he had done to Cassie, because we saw the footage, I'm not going to get into it because, you know, YouTube guidelines. Everybody got to behave out here in these streets. Everybody, including me. What he did to Cassie, we know for a fact, anybody knows that was not the first time. That was not the first time. And he could get away with it because he wasn't doing multiple things alone. He had a lot of support. This is my beautiful mother. Let me speak to her for 1 second. Good morning, Mommy Kins. How are you, my love? You want to say hello to Fumi Nation? Say hello.
Hello, Fumi Nation.
I'm busy filming, Mama Kins. As soon as I finish filming, I'm coming to you.
Okay.
All right? Bye. As I was saying, so I don't think he did it alone. I think that he had a lot of backing. I think he had a lot of support. I think that his hands were in many pies. I think that he lived a wonderful life and he had a lot of power. Because you say to yourself, why did Cassie stay that long? I heard it. I read it in the comments and everything. And I understood where you were all coming from. But if a man has that kind of power and influence all the way to stateside government, then there's nothing that you can do. Now, guess what? He's the fall guy. He's the fall guy. He got to go. Because if he doesn't go, then we're all going to be compromised. And he is the one, the turkey that they've thrown onto the pot. That's all I can tell you about that. That's all I can tell you. Now let us read. And we are reading from where? None other than Rolling Stone. So here we go, my darlings. And it says, Sean Combs arrested after grand jury indictment. Combs' arrest comes nearly a year after R&B singer Cassie filed a Duda lawsuit, and after the mogul's homes were raided in late March. And this is, because I have to give him credits, this is written by Cheyenne Roundtree, Nancy Dillon, September 16th. So these are the writers that put it together. I'm going to start doing that. You've got to give them their credit. I didn't write this. Okay, so Sean Diddy Combs was arrested in Manhattan on Monday evening after a grand jury indicted the hip-hop mogul, authorities said. The arrest follows Homeland Security raids on the Bad Boys founders' homes in late March, seemingly triggered by a wave of Duda lawsuits against him. It was last November that Combs' former girlfriend, the R&B singer Cassandra, also known as Cassie Ventura, filed an explosive Duda lawsuit against him that made global headlines. He reached a private settlement with her 1 day later, but the legal fallout only grew. 8 more women and 1 man have since come forward to sue Combs with allegations ranging from Duda-doos to Dudas. The exact charges Combs is now facing were not revealed Monday night, but the prosecution is being led by the Southern District of New York, who confirmed the news. Earlier this evening, federal agents arrested Sean Combs based on a sealed indictment filed by the SDNY. Damon Williams, the U.S. Attorney for Southern District, said in a statement, "We expect to move to unseal the indictment in the morning and we'll have more to say at that time." After the arrest, Combs' lawyer said he was disappointed by the SDNY's decision to pursue what he called an unjust prosecution. Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, lovely family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the Black community. He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal. Angie Philo said in a statement, to his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with the investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court. The lawyer representing accusers Liz Hara and Roddy Lil Rod Jones and April Lampros in the separate Duda lawsuits filed against Combs told Rolling Stone he was not surprised by the indictment. Neither was I. The long-awaited arrest of Sean Combs is the first step for our clients receiving justice, Attorney Tyrone Blackburn said after the indictment was announced. We leave the criminal aspect of this case in the hands of the people and the justice system. As for the civil cases, we await our time for the facts to reveal themselves and seek justice our clients deserve. We also anticipate more victims coming forward. We knew this was coming. The evidence is very clear, and it was only a matter of time. This is an important step towards justice for all of Mr. Combs' victims, including my clients. And it goes on. Like I said, there's nothing new here. There's nothing new here. There's only sadness, of which I have expressed many times before. Diddy had everything, or maybe that was the assumption that he put out there, and I bought it. Let me say that for myself. I bought it. I thought that he was Black excellence. And the more all of these things come out, we realize, let me speak for myself, that you really don't know anything. It's all smoke and mirrors. And it's easy to empathize with his mama, because I know the mother is worried for her son. I'm a mother to a son. No matter what, I get it. I understand it. But what about all of the victims? What about all of the victims? And you know life, like they say in Africa, every day for the thief, 1 day for the owner. Diddy couldn't have continued with this. He couldn't have. And I think that this is one of the reasons why Cassie said what she had to say. You know why? Time up. Because the time was coming up for Diddy. And she now realized, herself and her husband, thank you for good husbands, that she was in a safe space and this was going to really work against him. And it has. And we're going to be here and we're going to be surprised and aghast about a lot of things that we're going to hear. Get prepared, because there are going to be things that we don't know about that's going to come out. I also am kind of wary about people coming out trying to grab a bag. If you're looking for justice, go for justice. But if you're trying to grab a bag, you liquidate those that are here and are authentic and looking for justice. I don't know what he has done, but I do know what I saw in the video with Cassie. He might be innocent of everything, but I know he's guilty of that. That I know. When Homeland Security cruised out there in March, it was the beginning of the end. It was the beginning of it. They have better things to do out here in these streets. Trust and believe. They don't have time just to be running around for a music mogul. They don't have time for that. But for as long as Diddy has been out here, even when he was in uni, there have been one or two stories, and they have only gotten bigger and bigger and solidified what you heard the first time. It's a shame. It's such a shame. It's such a shame to have done this to your life. It's just sad. That's the only thing I can say, because why? Because of ego. Because you had the God complex. Because you thought that it wasn't enough for you. It wasn't enough for you for what you had accomplished. It wasn't enough for you that you could go do anything you wanted. It wasn't enough. You needed now treat people less than. Way less than. And in so doing, not only did you ruin your life, you've ruined the lives of those that loved you and family by extension. You see, I'm the opposite. I had a credit card. I think I've said the story. I didn't want to pay it. I didn't care. I was like, sure. The second I had Adrian, I ran and I paid it in full. I ran first and said, let us have a payment arrangement. Because I didn't want it to fall on Adrian. So I don't know, when you were doing all of these things, Diddy, I'm curious. Didn't you ever think of your children that you showed and showered so much love upon? Even I said, Diddy, he might not have got married, he might not have this or whatever, but he loved them kids. Why would you do that if you love those kids? Everything reflects on the people I love. For me, Ula, Adrian, my family. I think about it because sometimes, out here in these streets, you can kind of sort of, lose your cool every once in a while. But then I think Adrian, I think Ula, and I think of my family. Because my father's name is mine that he lent me. That's it. My name is his. Careful out here, Mama. I don't get it. You really thought you could get away with it forever. That's the only thing that I can think of. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, my darlings, and I will see you. What? I'll see you sooner than later. All of my love. Oh, wow.